Hi class! Today we are going to use the Make 10 strategy to solve problems within 20. So we're going to be learning how to add two numbers using the Make 10 strategy. And we will be doing a fun activity involving the 10 frame and counters. But first we need to make sure that you all know the different ways that we can add two numbers to make 10. So can you guys tell me all the different ways that we can use two numbers to make 10? And as you're saying them, I'm going to write them on the board. Alright, so we have 10 plus 0, 0 plus 10, 1 plus 9, 9 plus 1, 2 plus 8, and 8 plus 2, 3 plus 7, 7 plus 3, we have 4 plus 6, and 6 plus 4, and then 5 plus 5. I've also made a poster called the Rainbow to 10 that also shows all the different ways that you can make 10. Alright, so now that you have all successfully named the different ways to add two numbers to make 10, we're going to now practice adding to 20. We're going to be doing this using the 10 frame. So I've also made a poster to show you what a 10 frame is. Okay. Hopefully you can all see this. So a 10 frame is a long box with 10 spaces. To show numbers on a 10 frame, we will fill the top row first from left to right. When the top row is filled, you have 5 objects. When both rows are full, you have 10 objects. So now, I'm going to put my 10 frame on the whiteboard. And I'm going to do an example. So, we're going to write 7 plus 6. So I have my 10 frame on my board, and then these are my counters. So each of you later on will get your own 10 frame, and you'll get, I have yellow counters and red counters. So you're each going to get 10 of each color. So what I'm going to do first, my problem is 7 plus 6. So first I'm going to put 7 red counters into my 10 frame. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my 7 red counters represent the first number in the equation, 7. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my other yellow counters below the 10 frame, and I'm going to put 6 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the 6 yellow counters represent the second number, 6, in our equation. Okay. So now I'm going to move my yellow counters into my 10 frame one by one. So there's 1, 2, 3. So I added as many as I could to fill up the 10 frame. So now that my 10 frame is full, that means that I have 10. So now we're going to look at it. So I just used the Make 10 strategy. So I had 7 plus 6, and I started with my 7 red counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I added as many as I could of my yellow counters to my 10 frame to fill it up. So now we're going to count how many I have left. So I have 1, 2, 3 left. So now I have a new equation. Now I can write it as 10 plus 3, because we know that 7 plus 3 equals 10, so there's my 10, and I still have 3 of my yellow counters left from my 6, so I write 3. So that equals 13. So which do you think is easier to add? The 7 plus 6 or 10 plus 3? Okay, so now I'm going to give you guys each your own 10 frame, and you're each going to get 10 red counters and 10 yellow counters. And you're also going to get this problem worksheet with, there's an example on the top to show you how to fill in your answers. And you're going to practice on your own. But before we do that, we'll do one more example, and I'll have you guys all do it with me. We'll do it as a class. So everyone has their 10 frame and everyone has their counters. So we're going to do another example. All of this off. All right. So our next example that we're all going to do together is going to be 8 plus 7. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing I did before, and I'm going to put my red counters on my 10 frame first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I'm going to use my yellow counters, and I'm going to put them below. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So again, the red counters are represent the 8. So we have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the yellow counters represent the number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. So now I want you guys to do the same thing that I've done up here. You're going to put your 8 red counters on your 10 frame, and then place your 7 yellow counters right below it. And then, one by one, we're going to slowly move the yellow counters into our 10 frame. So 1, 2. So now we know that 8 plus 2 equals 10. So now we know we have 10, and then we're going to count our remaining yellow counters, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 8 plus 7 is the same thing as 10 plus 5, which equals 15. All right. So now, can you guys tell me how many yellow counters did it take for you to fill up the rest of your 10 frame? The student should say 2. And then how many yellow counters do you have left underneath your 10 frame? The students should say 5. And then you're going to ask the students, or I'm going to ask the students, can you tell me, or can you write an equation that represents the numbers shown on your 10 frame? So they should write 10 plus 5 equals 15. So now, I'm going to give each of you the worksheet that I talked about earlier, and you guys are going to use your 10 frame and your counters to fill out the worksheet and complete it. I'll give you guys about 15 minutes to do this. Okay, so we're going to say 15 minutes has gone by. So while they were doing their worksheet and working on using the 10 frame and everything, I would be walking around and observing and also asking them questions to see if they're actually understanding everything. And then also I can use the worksheet to assess them to make sure they understand how to use the Make 10 strategy in order to solve problems within 20. And then once they're done with that, I would actually have them reflect on what they've learned. I'd put them into groups, and I'd also be walking around as they're doing that and reflecting on everything. And I have a couple of guided questions. So one question is, did the Making 10 strategy help you solve the math equations today? And how did it help you? So some students can answer, yes, it did help me because it was easier to add a number to 10. So instead of writing 8 plus 7, it's easier to use the Make 10 strategy and take 2 away from that 7 and add it to the 8 to make 10, and then add your remaining numbers to the 10. And then you could even ask students how they could use this strategy in the future and just listen to what they say. It might be kind of interesting. And then you could also ask them if they think that this will always work, which it may not. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson. Thanks.